It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Every morning I'm faced with heaven and hell, fighting my consciousness. See my vision clear as optometrist. I'm an optimist, a southern king. Hustle to get flooded chains. Grew up on Juelz and Wayne. 9 niggas stacking like 100 ways. Walking this earth, I took control of my turf. Had to learn to protect my soul before I knew what it's worth. My homies had to work. I was clocking in at work. My virtuous reality done took us to the metaverse. Water with the lemon squeeze. Passport up in my jeans. Sticking to the code. Watching sucker niggas switching teams. I gotta grind. My fam eating off the strength of my dial. This industry gave me no favors, you could tell from my eyes. The money coming, had to fight for it. Meeting with them white boys, trying to make a living with this mic card. Buzz going crazy, got them straight up out the sight ward. My life story deeper than these niggas had to fight wars. It's Nolan.
They like nice work. I reply light work. Neck and wrist lit, that's that ice work. Light work.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this afternoon. In this video, we're going to be getting into Juelz Santana, and he has a new interview out in which he was asked the question, what is more important, math or reading? Which, honestly, the question in itself was dumb, right? To ask which one is more important in today's landscape where anti-intellectualism is such a rampant problem. Some people just don't know how to read the room, and it is what it is. But nonetheless, he was asked, and I guess asking you shall receive. So the answer that Juelz came out and said was math, and then he goes on to say that reading is not all that important, right? And then he goes into his perception of all of the different ways that you can retain information without actually reading, such as audio books, or they asked him about, music industry and contracts and stuff. And he's like, you could use apps where they'll read that to you as well. But the problem is reading, just the act of reading. Yeah, on the surface, if you say that, it might make a little iota of sense. But reading is more than just being able to know what a word is in front of you, right? Reading is comprehension, understanding, being able to take the information that is placed in front of you and being able to actually compute what it is that is communicating to you, which a lot of people already struggle with as is, despite them knowing how to read. So yeah, reading is extremely important, and more important than people would like to think, because we got so many fucking idiots walking around today that are not good at it. And although some of these people may have gone on to have successful lives, obtain gainfully employed jobs and things of that nature, that doesn't change the fact that they really ain't all the way there. And it's going to affect their performance. May even affect how long you're able to keep said job. But again, we are in the anti-intellect era, unfortunately, and it's running around crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and get to this clip of Juelz in the interview. And to be clear, the song that I played at the top, it's not a song that I did specifically with Juelz. It was actually for a remix competition. Don't want anybody to think, damn, you want a song with Juelz and you cracking on him? I'm not cracking on him either. Used to be one of my favorite rappers, period. You asked me back in 2003, 2004, outside of like 50 Cent, Jay-Z, Lloyd Banks, shit, boy, Juelz was up there. I was bumping Diplomatic Immunity at the same time as Get Rich or Die Trying. But shit, man, all that album shit. Remember that nigga used to be like, album coming soon? Makes a lot more sense as to why you was never able to say that motherfucking word correctly. Album. To this day, that nigga still say album. Anyway, it's all love. But shit, man, that don't look good. So here we go, y'all. Here's the clip.
And I think that shit gonna take over.
Nah, but seriously though,
said it right?
voice
on
on
some
demographic.
G shit though, we gotta start teaching our
Must
kids
be.
though just financial wealth and literacy and all that shit early, because by the time they get to 9th grade, they should be just learning how to start businesses
These kids
and
can't read
how
well.
to. But they don't really need to know how to read.
Wait, stop.
That's crazy. Off the rip. How you gonna say? How you gonna push for financial literacy? Literacy. And this man says, but kids don't know how to read. And he said, but on some real shit, you ain't gotta know how to read. You use the word literacy to even start the conversation. Boy, this is unfortunate.
Wait,
I ain't gonna say that. I say that. I say that.
Then you got this guy sitting next to him over here clapping like he had a motherfucking comedy show talking about math and science. You ever looked at a math or a science book? You gotta be able to read that motherfucker, man. Science? Are you fucking crazy? What happens in math when I give your ass a word problem? Huh? Come on, man.
I say that respectfully. I'm not saying that in a way to be literate, because you're not supposed to be illiterate, but you can.
What's more important, reading or math?
Math.
Told you.
Math. I think you could listen to a book on YouTube. You can still obtain the information.
And
You don't
not
have to know how to
understand.
read.
But if you don't know what the fuck you listening to, if you don't know what none of the words actually mean, how are you supposed to listen? That's just like I'm talking right now and it's somebody who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, although they have a grasp of basic English. But if they're not educated enough to know what I'm saying right now, they're like, okay, he sounds like he know what he's talking about. Sounds good. He's entertaining. But if you ask that motherfucker, hey man, what that nigga J Nolan actually say in that video? Like, what was the actual premise of the video? Motherfucker might not be able to tell you. But they go about the rest of their day clicking on videos, having a good ass time, and just going off, these motherfuckers are entertaining. And walk away with nothing.
That's not reading and understanding. I believe common sense is better than everything. I'm a common sense nigga. I'd rather have zero book smarts and common sense, be able to read the room, be able to read life, be able to read people. I try to understand people, you know what I'm saying? Like, nowadays, you can listen to a book. I just listen to the 48 Laws of Power, not to.
You gotta
could
read
listen.
your contract, Els.
You don't have to
You can
understand
listen
it,
to
though,
that
with a
too.
book.
They got apps you could put it in and it'll read it to you. Are you crazy? Huh? It probably will. AI will now. That's what I'm saying. That's how freaky
You don't have
it
to
is.
read. Shit
You gotta
can be told to you.
It'll be so.
Just
I'm
no
not saying that in a bad way. Like you don't need to know how to
menu at a
read.
restaurant.
Floyd
Huh?
Mayweather don't read that
menu
shit.
at a restaurant.
And that's not even true. Floyd Mayweather is not illiterate. I don't know what the fuck Floyd Mayweather was going through that day when he was trying to read that script for the Breakfast Club. But he has since redeemed himself in terms of, when I say redeemed himself, I'm not talking about his character or his personality. I'm only speaking on in terms of reading. He's proven multiple times that he actually can read. Now, whether or not his comprehension is all that strong, I don't know. But y'all always like to throw Floyd Mayweather out there. That man came out here and showed he could read. But but that viral clip of that script was interesting.
Like, it's mad shit you gotta read.
You saying that, you just gotta know what you like.
You know what I want.
You ain't gotta read the restaurant. You can just say, what is this, a steak joint? I want steak, nigga. What y'all steak come with? What y'all got? When the waiter come,
Reading way more important.
when the waiter come, you be like, what come with?
Okay, Juelz Santana, ladies and gentlemen. Now, personally, I don't know if Juelz Santana knows how to read all that well or not. You know, but it's just it's a terrible message to put out there, especially as a rapper. You make your living and have made your living off of words and being able to use them eloquently enough to where you've made a good amount of checks, despite your troubles in life. You know, I think, honestly, if I'm going to be super serious, I think hip-hop should be the biggest advocate for literacy in all of entertainment. Like one of the essential elements, although it's not as, enforced or popular today is storytelling, being able to actually craft a narrative and tell people your story and the things that you've gone through and all of this. And a lot of this stuff is honed in the schools in creative writing classes and learning, you know, doing essays and actually reading books and being able to understand and actually report on what it is that's going on in the book. That's one of the reasons why they do that, is to show your level of comprehension. Like, okay, you read the book, now tell me in summation what the book was about, what the message is about, what you got from the book, what was the moral compass of the book, what was the lesson in the book, you know, all of those different things. Shit, man, I'm about to be in for it. You know what I mean? I got a 2-year-old son now. Pretty soon he's about to be getting into the school system, and man, I already know the last decade or so, the schools have changed so much, especially since I was in school. We gonna really have to be on him something serious, because we not finna let him slip through the cracks, man. It's a lot of people slipping, falling. They can't get up out this bitch, man. And it be a lot of these motherfuckers we end up arguing with online. You know? But that's disheartening. And they say, what about reading the menu at a restaurant? He's like, shit, man, just ask the waiter. Hey, what kind of steak y'all got? Bitch, I gave you a fucking menu 10 minutes ago. We got a whole steak, chicken, taco menu. And you finna ask me what steaks we got? And you been sitting with that motherfucking menu for 10 minutes? Are you crazy? And if I tell you we got a ribeye, we got a motherfucking New York strip, we got a fucking T-bone, do you know what that is? We got a skirt steak. Don't you ask about no motherfucking skirt if I tell you we got a skirt steak, bitch. What's going on here? You know, like, come on, man. Unfucking fortunate. That's just like these motherfucking Trumpers out here, you know, for the last 5-7 years or whatever, trying to take what they call critical race theory out of the schools and trying to change the history books and taking shit out of actual social studies and fucking history classes. Like, dog, what are you doing? Why would you do that? You would rather change history than to just acknowledge it, learn it, move forward. A lot of people don't even retain the information, honestly, which works at our detriment as well. But it all comes from that same branch of just believing that this stuff isn't important. Like, it's just a formality. Like, hey, I ain't got nothing better to do with my kids, so they're supposed to be in school. No, motherfucker. You're supposed to be training them up so that they can have a productive life, so that they're not dependent on your ass till kingdom come. Now, what about that? Kid don't know a motherfucking thing. You been sending their ass to school for 15 years. They getting ready to goddamn graduate and don't know shit. Then what? Man, you should have learned. You should have learned. You better pick up a book or something, bitch. You told me I ain't need to know how to read when I was in 2nd grade. You said math was more important. Well, shit, your math scores is fucked up too. You know what I mean? How I'm supposed to teach you how to do multiplication if you don't even know what the fuck the word multiply means? Division, addition. So yeah, you might learn addition and subtraction, you know, just watching motherfucking Baby Shark here and there or some shit. But hey, at a certain point, you're gonna have to pick up on some other shit. You're gonna have to extend your vocabulary and pick up on some things. So I'm highly disappointed in Juelz, especially as a fan, as somebody who grew. And again, they asked him this stupid ass question. And I guess stupid questions get stupid answers, but I'm pissed off at everybody that was in the room, from the production to the cameraman to the niggas that was in the background, even engaging in this shit. Just stinking up the place. And the thing that's even worse is, you know, pushing this not knowing how to read thing or whatever. Like, bro, people that can't even see, learn how to read in their own way through Braille. So you mean to tell me they created this whole system of Braille where you can literally feel words, and you saying reading is not important? Are you fucking crazy? We have fucking sign language indicating what words mean to people that are not able to verbally speak, because reading is important. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different ways to communicate yourself, but how are you going to learn to communicate yourself when you don't even know what you're trying to communicate? Boy, y'all need to take that motherfucking interview down, boy. Everybody with a motherfucking microphone and a camera, it is too much. It is too much out this bitch, man. Ain't this the same dude who was in a contract stuck with Dipset and all that shit? And Cam was out here monetizing on niggas' ideas and shit. Bird Gang, the nigga Cam took Bird Gang, took Jimmy shit from right up under his nose because he didn't know no better, allegedly. This man, Juelz, I'm sure if he would have read the motherfucking package on that promethazine, he might not have found himself in the predicament he was in, you know? If he had a little bit more reading skills, he probably would have never got caught with no dope in the back of his motherfucking trunk at an airport. Oh, boy. Let me chill out before these people have me on the internet really goddamn really crash it out. Like, this nigga here tripping. Let me chill, man. But it is offensive, you know what I mean? Well, I won't say offensive, but just very disappointing as somebody who actually has written books, grew up being heavily invested into reading. My reading skills literally kind of carried me through life before I could even develop other skills. At least that was able to like hold me down for a good amount of time. Still holds me down to this day, doing these fucking contracts independently and shit. Like, how the fuck you gonna, man, tell me something you could have a damn AI read you a contract. It's people that know how to read excellently that can't even comprehend them fucking contracts. And you talking about you finna let this nigga read it to you? Be the same niggas like, oh, I ain't read the contract, I gave it to my lawyer. And the next thing you know, you like, man, my lawyer knew what was going on. I got fucked. Well, you skipped out on the most important part. It was your contract, not his. Anyway, let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I will catch y'all on the next one. Jesus.
Family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'm never politicking, the drama be piling on. Father and great son acknowledged like I'm Bobby Bonds. Conversation with my lady about the paper route. 5 sit bank accounts, every day I make it count. They down talking my commentary for hating now. Well, I can take it cause I'm bodying your favorite now, please. I could do this shit in my sleep. I been writing for these niggas, y'all read it and weep. I been fighting these niggas if you speak on the street. I'll turn your birthday party into New Year's Eve. Don't let me take it there. We ain't playing fair. This the ATL, Southside nigga moving furniture like Wayfair. Life on hold, no insurance for your healthcare. Lifeline gone, so you wanna be a millionaire? Well, let me tell you about this world I built. The women I dodged, the niggas that I ran for filth. The sympathy calls, consulting for the stacks I built. I had to evolve and grow, cause I could've